everybody, I know a lot of you are interested in skincare treatments, so I have a great one to share with you. I'm going to tell you my experience with CO2 fractional laser treatments. It's a skin resurfacing treatment and it is intense. So if you have fine lines or textured skin or scars you would like softened, let's talk about CO2 fractional laser, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Now you know I have tried microdermabrasion and I like the smoothness it gives my skin. I've also done microneedling, which is a more intense treatment, but CO2 fractional laser is pulling out the big guns. And I had done this about it's been about 2 weeks now. And I had thought about it for about 2 or 3 years, because after I did microneedling, I learned that I was going to have several treatments done to see the full effect. And I determined at that point that I'd rather do one great treatment than a series of treatments. Now, there's a lot that you have to factor in when you decide to do this skin resurfacing. Now, I'm not giving you any medical advice, but I do recommend that you use the best practitioner you can find. And I used a plastic surgeon. He's here in South Florida, and if you're interested in seeing my doctor, I'll be glad to give you the contact information. Just DM me in my Instagram. CO2 fractional laser treatments create tiny micro injuries to your skin, and then your skin regenerates and you have fresh skin. It's almost like a second-degree burn when you have this done. But it doesn't remove all of your skin. That's why it's called fractional. It is considered to be a more intense treatment for skin resurfacing. So give this a lot of thought before you have it done. And if you've thought it through and you still want to, let me tell you more about it. My doctor offered general anesthesia or oral sedation, and I chose oral sedation. I did consider going into under general anesthesia because it's like taking a nap and you wake up and it's done. But I have a fairly high tolerance for pain, and I wanted to go ahead and experience this because I wanted to talk to you about it. So what we did was, the day before I went in, I began taking an antibiotic and an antifungal medication, which I took for, I believe, 7 or 8 days, even after the surgery was done. One day before, and then the remainder of the pills that were in the bottle. And I was a little groggy through some of this, so you will be too. You'll either be completely sedated or you'll be somewhat tipsy. And so I took everything I was supposed to take the night before, the antibiotic and the antifungal. And the next day, you just start taking the medication that you need to take for your oral sedation before the surgery. And I went in with a very clean face. They want you to have everything scrubbed. Now, when you go to the doctor, you're not going to be able to drive, so have someone take you. And when I arrived, they started doing the skin cleaning, and then they applied a numbing cream. Now, I'm not sure they put a topical numbing cream on your skin if you're under general anesthesia. Maybe not, because I had the topical cream and I felt it, but it wasn't super intense. You know, I just felt like a rubber band snap, and they began at the top of my forehead and came all the way down. And I have surgical scars on my collarbone and my chest that we worked on. So we started at the top, came all the way down, even did the upper lids, because they put caps on your eyes. In your eyes, they're stainless steel sterilized caps, and they put them on your eyes. Did the eyelids, did my earlobes, did all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And then I have surgical scars on my chest and on my collarbone. So we worked on those, and then it was over. It was maybe an hour wasn't bad. Now you really won't hear the laser, or I didn't, but I did hear a vacuum cleaner, and I knew I would. I'd been told they use a vacuum, and I wasn't sure what that was for, but I later found out that is for any smoke that might be created by the laser. So don't make that a panic situation. It's just part of the treatment. You just have to go with the flow on that. But it doesn't take that long. I honestly thought it might take a couple of hours, but it was about an hour or so, and it was not that intense and not panic stricken or anything like that. So once you are through, then you start the healing process. So let's talk about that. Now you will notice that I am in pajamas. Well, I have been in pajamas for about 2 weeks, but we'll get to that in a moment. I do know that when I came out of the surgery, my skin was really warm and red, so expect that. Now you're out of surgery, your skin is pink, and it feels hot. So you're going to go home, and you're going to be covered in Vaseline. And let me tell you, the downtime is no joke. That is the longest recovery for a beauty treatment that I have ever had, and I'm so happy that I'm almost out of my pajamas. I could not wear, these are silk, so I would not even try, wear t-shirts, wear an old pair of pajamas, and on your pillow, I use towels on my pillows, and you could even slide an old t-shirt over your pillow. Just something you can remove from your pillow and wash, and I don't even know if washing gets all of that out. Now, some doctors will have you use Aquaphor. My doctor does not recommend it. I used petroleum jelly, or you can use Vaseline, depending on what your doctor recommends. My doctor, for some reason, does not particularly care for Aquaphor. Maybe there's an ingredient in it that some people are allergic to. I'm not sure, but that's what we used. And then, oh my, everything you touch is going to be greasy feeling. Your remote controls, your telephone, and that reminds me, with your phone, you have to use your speaker, not put it up to your face, because your skin is just open to all kinds of bacteria, fungus. You do not want that, so be extra cautious. If you have pets, you don't want your pets on you. If you have young children, be careful, because you can get really bad infections from these open wounds, and luckily everything's going great so far. I don't want to jinx it. I'm pretty much over the hump on that. Other than the little bit of puffiness you may see and the flakiness, that's another thing. You're going to get flaky after you finish using the Vaseline, because your skin's just sloughing off all of that. So every day I washed my face 3 times, morning, noon, and evening before I went to bed. And you are going to have to wipe all of that Vaseline off, and then I use Cetaphil Daily Facial Cleaner, and that's what my doctor recommends. Wash, wash, wash. I did that 3 times a day, and then when you wash, it's going to be kind of stinging feeling, but it's not that bad, and it just tingled a lot. But as soon as you start applying the petroleum jelly back on your skin, then that air is not hitting your raw skin any longer, and it stops. And so that was about 10 days, about 10 days of that, and then I was able to stop using the Vaseline and went to using this moisturizing cream. It's Vanna cream. It's dermatologist tested. It has no fragrance, no parabens. It's wonderful. I really will continue using this product, as I probably will continue using Cetaphil quite a bit. And now I'm just down to, I'm applying the Vanna cream under my makeup. I could not believe he told me I could start wearing makeup. That was a happy day. I could start covering up the little pink blotches I still have. I still have a little puffiness. It's going to last probably a couple more weeks, but that's okay. I can go out to dinner now. I can do everything I usually do. But the worst part of all of it was the petroleum jelly everywhere. I covered furniture with blankets just to keep it from ruining anything. But I'm putting this away. I don't want to see that for a long time. And also when I'm trying to find my little items over here that I usually use, when I was cleaning my face 3 times a day, and if you have short hair, just, you know, wear a hairband. But I put mine in a high pony because even a low pony, the Vaseline was on my neck and my hair would stick to it. Disgusting. So I put it in a high pony, left it there, and then when I got to the point I was going to wash my hair, I either use these Velcro wraps around your hairline, because he went all the way up to the top of my face, just at my hairline. Then I use these as well. Whoops. These are wonderful. These are terry cloth stretchy bands you can use. Some days I would just leave one or the other of these on my head because I had this all through my hair, in the front of my hair. And I promise you, I think I'm still getting it out. And one of the nurses told me I could use Dawn dishwasher detergent in my hair to get this petroleum jelly out, but I hadn't had to do that yet. I'm fine with using my shampoo and doing multiple shampooings. Oh yeah, this also comes with these little cuffs, which is wonderful because if you're leaning over a sink like this, your water won't run down into your pajamas. I mean, if we've all been there, done that. And the easiest way for me was just to get in the shower and wash everything off. Put my hair up in a shower cap and just wash, because I had to wash all the way down over and over and over and over. So you may not have to do it as far down as I did. You can just do your face. I imagine you could just do parts of your face. And I thought about doing areas of my face, but then I considered the fact that I would have to recover from it no matter what. So why not do everything? Now I can get dressed every day and I can put on a strong SPF and I can wear a hat and get out and run errands, do whatever I want to do. I have not been out much at all, mostly going to the doctor for checkups. First I went every 3 days, and then I went a week later, and I don't go back for a month. So I will continue wearing a hat, SPF, and I should be good to go in 2 months. He said 2 months I can stop being super cautious, and I can do that. That's not a problem, but I tend to stay in more than some people do. If you play golf or you go boating and things like that, you might want to consider a different type of laser treatment because this is very intense and time consuming. Now I am 2 weeks out and I'm very happy with the results so far. Now I have to keep in mind that my skin's a bit puffy, so it's going to look all shiny and clean, and the skin does look resurfaced. It's going to take a while. It's one of those long processes because at some point my skin will start tightening just a bit. So I am looking forward to tighter skin. Who isn't? And I like the fact that it's kind of softened the look a bit. I'll be really glad in a couple weeks when the pinkness is gone. But before I could wear makeup, it had already almost all disappeared except in certain spots. Now I am really happy with the results so far. I think that the little bit of puffiness you get from it does help a bit. It just softens the look, and the skin resurfacing looks very smooth, so I'm not complaining about that. See? And then he did my earlobes, and what did I say? Earlobes, eyelids, and I didn't expect that until I went in for the last consultation. He mentioned it, and I was like, I would have never thought about eyelids and earlobes, but it is wonderful. So that was a little bonus. And so now I'm ready to start getting up, getting out of pajamas, get dressed, put on a little makeup, and do everything I need to do. Now, what I wish I'd known beforehand is, number one, the Vaseline. To me, that was the worst part, because you feel trapped. You can't do anything. You just have all of this on. I did cook, caught up on my shows that I've been watching on television, was able to read books if I made sure I had all of that off of my fingers. And if you consider doing this, don't plan a trip anytime soon. Don't plan to be out in the sun. Just plan to stay home and have a project to do at home. And that is about the worst of it, is being in that Vaseline state and being in the house all of the time and feeling that you can't leave. Now, you could leave if you had to, but who wants to go out looking like they just came out of surgery? Now, like I said, if you have not had any kind of laser treatments and you've not experienced that, I would go and have a less intense laser treatment done and see what your thoughts are about that before you go in for the big guns, because you get the big results, but you're going to have downtime. And I know that a lot of you may have questions about this, and I hope I've touched on a lot of it. However, any questions you have, put those questions below, because all of us can share information by doing that. I can answer. If somebody else has had it done, they can answer as well. And if you have a friend that's thinking about having this done, share this video with them and they can ask questions, because I want to share this experience with you so you know exactly what to expect when you go in to have it done. I hope you've loved this video. If you have, give it a thumbs up. And if you are not a subscriber, please tap the subscribe button and the bell next to it so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. And I hope you have a fabulous week, and don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram. Bye.